What up? What up? Fantasy football hustler back at you. And oh, yeah, another episode of Fantasy News Today here with the Wednesday crew. My man Bogart Scott Free. And we got TD in the building from Fantasy Good Sports. What's happening?
Shit, chilling. Slow motion in the big old ocean.
Oh, yeah. Daddy daycare.
Oh, yeah.
TD, what's happening with you, bro?
Not much, man. Just ready for more football, man. We in the middle of the first 4 or 5 games just happened, so it's time to make a move now in fantasy.
It definitely is. People are getting nervous. I know that because while Bogart's not in the fantasy football group yet, he will be, though. I told him we're going to make that happen. But TD, I know, is in there. And I will tell you, from last week up until this week, the amount of people that are coming through and requesting to get in the group every single day is like doubled. Like, it's insane. Just yesterday, we grew by 800 people. So people want that info. They want that help. They need it right now. There's a lot of people panicking.
Hey, man, well, we're here to tell them, what I'm saying? Just get yourself together. You know what I mean? We got a long grind. We got 9 more weeks of this thing before the fantasy playoffs. So ain't nobody out of this thing. Until you're 0-7, you can't tell me you're out of it.
Yep, because anything can happen. Anything can happen. One injury can mess up any team out there.
Yep.
I made the playoffs one year, 6 and 7, and I won. I won like 5 straight games and backdoored into the playoffs.
Hey, man, it happens, man.
Especially if you play in a league where it's 6 playoff teams instead of 4. You play in a 12-team league. I mean, it should be 6 playoff teams.
Yep.
Yeah, like man, I'm actually playing both of you guys in different leagues this week. I'm hustling in the Tyrannosaurus Flex League, and it's crazy because that league last year, 12 teams, super flex, and literally the 5th seed all the way down to the 10th seed was all 6 and 7. So 6 and 7 was just a bloodbath. Everybody was killing each other. The top 3 were like, they obviously had like the least losses, you know what I mean? But it was just, I've never seen that. Unprecedented.
Yep. And shout out to Alex. So Alex is the one who actually won the Ricky Williams signed jersey giveaway. Yeah. And he got off the stream a little bit before we did that. He was praying for the Monday Night Miracle, though, because he was going up against Latavius Murray and he had Mark Andrews and he was down by like some crazy amount of points. Like, I don't even remember what it was. He was like, "You think I even got a chance?" I was like, "Just be positive. I've seen crazier shit happen." Hey, and Mark Andrews has the game of his life.
He has a career game. And you know what's awesome about that? Hey, man, tell Alex, if you're listening right now, go buy a lottery ticket, bro, because you done won the Ricky you won the Ricky thing. You got your Monday Night Miracle. And listen, when you win the Mega Lotto, let me hold something. You know what I'm saying? I am the Gimme Money Network. You go ahead and go ahead and drop a couple
Time to press that luck. This isn't the time to hold back. Just go full force with it.
Buy all the tickets.
Yeah.
Scratchers, you know what I'm saying? All of it. Go play bingo. You know what I mean?
Get it all. Get it all.
If you see the dude at the subway playing the 3-card money, get all his money.
There we go. All right, let's get into some of this news. And how about we start off with Thursday Night Football? All right, so the starting right tackle for the Eagles, he is out. Lane Johnson, he missed last week as well, is out with a personal matter. So he's missing on Thursday Night Football. Rob Gronkowski is officially out as well for Thursday Night Football. Dallas Goddard, I don't know if it's official as a referee's whistle yet, but he's put on the COVID reserve. I don't know if he's going to be able to beat the protocol in time to play on Thursday.
He's out because I looked into this earlier. It gotta be 2 tests 24 hours away from each other, and he's not gonna make that.
Yeah, just too close. Because I believe it was on Monday that they added him to that.
Yep.
TD, you got any thoughts on Thursday with all these injuries that we know about so far?
So who's playing Thursday?
The Bucs.
Well, the Bucks and the Eagles, and everybody who was like limited in practice, pretty much. I mean, they're like full goes now. So like Gio full go, Brady full go, Antonio Brown full go, Chris Godwin full go. But the people who are out, let me just go down the list again. So for the Eagles, Lane Johnson, their starting right tackle, is out. Dallas Goddard, pretty much looking like he's all but out because of the COVID, being in the COVID protocol. And then for the Bucks, Rob Gronkowski is out. Levante David is out. Antoine Winfield Jr. is out.
I know I got David.
Yeah, the Buccaneers are fine. They got Antonio Brown. They got the weapons. Tom Brady, he's good. Unless you got some IDP guys, yeah, you might have to sit them guys. But yeah, those offensive guys are full go. I'm not going to even worry about the left tackle or the right tackle for the Philadelphia Eagles. He was out last week and they still won, so they'll be fine. Fire up your players. I'm not playing Miles Sanders, but I'm playing. I would play Kenneth Gainwell and the rest of that crew.
Bogey, before I let you get in here real quick, is this why teams don't try to bring back 100% of their starters, after last season? I mean, that's a lot of games that people are playing, and you just know how it goes. The less rest you get, the more likely you are to get injured. But they did something that nobody in history has ever done, return all 22 starters, and it seems like half of them, at least on defense, are all injured.
Well, they trying to rewrite the history books, right? I mean, last year they did it. They were the first team to ever contend in the Super Bowl that was held in their house, let alone win that thing. So they got no one could take that from them. And then the unprecedented, everyone full 100% return attendance, right? Like, and then every time we watch Brady play at 44 years old, that's the first time we ever seen a 44-year-old ball like this. And I think I'm kind of scared of playing Brady in fantasy, not because it's a bad matchup, because we're just worried about the thumb and their ability to run the ball right now. And like, I just feel like unless Jalen Hurts comes out there putting up points real quick on them, I just don't see Brady putting up no start outing with 3 touchdowns. And you know what I mean? Like, I'm tempering my expectations.
Well, one thing I do know about Brady, I know you guys remember that game where he got pulled out of the game in like the third quarter or something because they were up by like 21 points or some shit like that. Back when he played for the Patriots, this is a few years ago. And whoever they were playing, I don't even remember the game. They scored like 14 points just on 2 drives in a row. And Tom Brady's like, fuck it, I'm back in. And so
I remember.
I think Derek Stidham threw a pick, right?
Yeah, it was something like that where, the other team scored, Stidham throws a pick, and it might have just been like a pick 6 or something, but they scored 2 touchdowns like hella quick. And Brady was like, fuck it, give me my helmet, I'm going back in.
hold my avocado bag.
But that's one thing that we're definitely living in a world that if they go up on the Eagles, and they're leading by 14-21 at halftime, they definitely hit cruise control and try to just, grind that clock. But what I'm hoping, because we want high scoring points. I don't give a shit who wins this game. We want Hurts to come out there, do some damage to that banged up defense. Let's get the score high on Thursday night. We need it.
I want to say, though, Hurts, you don't ever have to worry about it. He's matchup proof.
Oh, yeah.
I'm saying that he's the best. I'm saying in fantasy, he's matchup proof because when he makes mistakes, he'll dig himself out of the hole. And then if he's not making mistakes, he's obviously racking points up. It's a win-win. That's why he's the top 5 QB right now in fantasy.
And shout out to that. And shout out to that defense that can't hold anybody down because that's going to keep him having to throw the ball, run, and his offensive line is banged up. That's why he's got to run the ball. I mean, that team is in shambles, and it shouldn't even be doing as good as it is right now. So Hurts should get all the props.
I love that. Like, I was on that side of the fence about Jalen Hurts. I was the guy who was like, Jalen Hurts is going to be a dog. And, like, it was a real gamble. Only 4-game sample size, but that kid is doing it right now. And I hope he doesn't get hurt because he plays with reckless abandonment. I love it.
I was on the opposite side of things, and it wasn't because of Hurts. It was really because of the Philadelphia Eagles and their ability to I don't even know what the ability is to run a team, I guess, because there's just everything was messed up about them. Ever since they won the Super Bowl, it's like they rested on their laurels, and that was it.
I mean, Doug Peterson writes a book like he's just the know-all, be-all. Remember, he ran the Super Bowl and wrote a book, basically how to be a winner. You know what I mean?
That's how you cash in. That's the only time to cash in because, yeah, he would have given it, midway into the season. Yeah, that would have flopped.
Fine, that's the point.
All right, now how about in that London game? We got some news from the Dolphins here. So Tua expected to practice. I already said yesterday he's designated to return off of IR. Jacoby Brissett is limited. Now, just because Tua got designated to come back doesn't mean he's going to play. Practice is going to be super important, and they play the London game, so that might make a difference as well. Devonte Parker, not ready to practice. I don't even know if he's on track to play this Sunday, but I think the Thursday practice is going to be super important. And then Xavier Howard, it is Wednesday, but he didn't practice. He's been banged up ever since even before last week. And, yeah, they need him to be at 100%, that's for sure. Not a tough matchup, though, huh, TD?
No, it ain't. Wait a minute. So give me the teams that we talking about again. I'm sorry, Hustler.
Dolphins and the Jaguars. So we're talking about the London game.
Yeah,
Tua might play. Tua's back to practice. Devonte Parker not practicing. Xavier Howard not practicing.
Yeah. So I like Preston Williams. Especially with Devonte Parker being out this week, I'm firing up Preston Williams. I know he's a sleeper, but I just think he's a good play for the Miami Dolphins going into this week. And the Jags, you roll them out there. Everybody's as healthy as they normally is, so you just roll your guys out there. And make sure you got your lineup set before 9:30.
I love Mike Gesicki in this one. Get Gesicki with it. You know what I'm saying? Nah. Get with it. That one's hella dumb.
Man, if you remember back in the day, anyone who was around for the Napster and Kazaa and all that Bear Share days, they did a parody to the getting jiggy with it, and it was called Getting Sticky with It, and it was a Bill Clinton parody.
Nice. Oh yes, Bill Clinton likes to get sticky with women that have cankles. Oh, you see, they coming out with a.
I like cankles too.
I'm not mad at cankles, bro.
And so, Gaskin got to double down on it. Jags, they haven't really been able to stop the run. So everyone who's nervous about Gaskin, I would say just start him. I mean, got a couple buys this week, got a bunch of injuries out there. I say you start him, just roll the dice again. And hopefully the little rehab stint for the Miami coaches, them not treating their nose anymore, hopefully that continues into the London game because Gaskin is the best playmaker that they got on that team. It's him and Waddle, and I don't think anyone else is even close to them as far as being a top playmaker.
I'm saying, though, man, I mean, Amsterdam's not that far from London, bro. You know what I mean? They might get their fix, bro.
Well, hopefully they do some mushrooms in Amsterdam, and then they get the epiphany of what they're supposed to be doing.
Yes. Actually, they have outlawed psilocybin mushrooms, but so now they make truffles. They make psilocybin truffles now.
That is crazy. That is crazy.
What about the kryptonite?
Oh, the kryptonite?
The drink called kryptonite.
Yeah. The absinthe. Yeah.
I'll be right back real quick. Let's talk about the Cardinals and Max Williams officially on IR. Talk about the Cardinals real quick, and I'll be back in 2 seconds.
Real quick, before you touch on the Cardinals, I just want to give my thoughts real quick on Tua coming back. I mean, with Tua coming back, I swear to God, the game run the ball. You know what I mean? I don't think they're going to I feel like they look at this Jags game as their bounce back game. Because this is the team that want to compete. I mean, they got Myles Gaskin finally coming back on. I think we see all the running backs, and it's annoying this week. But I think Myles Gaskin is viable. He's going to get some checkdowns because people don't like to stretch the field, contrary to popular belief, because that's what he did in college. I haven't seen it in the NFL, so I'm just going to go with what I've seen. And I think the tuna fish, with Xavier Howard being out, their game plan to run the ball might get thrown out the window if the home team, Jags, can actually put it on them. You know what I mean? And we got another cool thing going. There's never been a rookie quarterback to win a game in London. So
because Zach Wilson failed just like the rest of them.
Yep. So let's go, Trevor Lawrence. I like seeing history, even when it's minuscule.
I think, all right, you guys tell me about this. Bogey, you already talked about how the Jaguars, you know, they got the history of being over there. They know how to prepare, a little bit more for the London games. You think is that one of the things that gives the Jags the edge over the Dolphins here?
I don't think I don't think they have an edge here unless the GM or the training, or I don't know if the training staff is still the same or anything, because it's a whole new regime. So I think it's brand new to them too. So I'm not going to give them any type of edge. And there is no home field advantage, even though they're the home team, because everyone goes out there, wears whatever jersey of the team they like, and they cheer for all the field goals. You know what I mean?
Do you think that the Jags do get a little home field advantage since they've been going out there like every single year, like since this happened?
I would say a smidge, but not this particular team, because this particular team, most of them weren't there 2 years ago. You know what I mean? Because the London games. So
we're going to see a grip of Cowboy jerseys out there, like always. We always see a crazy amount of Cowboy jerseys at those games.
Steelers jerseys too. Steelers jerseys packed.
That'd be funny if we see some Patriots jerseys. I know that used to be a popular team out there. Right now they're sucking though. And shout out to everyone leaving comments for the start and sits. We're not doing those right now. That stream is actually in about 2 hours from now. If you can't make it, then you want to get a start sit question or a trade question answered, just make sure you drop it in as a super chat and we'll take good care of you. But anything news related, you can ask some questions in the comments, but everything on this stream is all about the news. So we're not ignoring you. All right. And okay, so the Giants, they got a bunch of stuff going on right now. Danny Pesos, they say he's on track, but he also can't practice yet. So I don't know exactly what that means. Saquon Barkley, Kenny Golladay didn't practice, but the guy's getting back to practice. So Kadarius Toney, he did get to practice, popped up on the injury report. What Sterling Shepard, what
exact injury? Tony the Tiger.
Let's see. Might have been his hand, right? After punching dude in the face.
That's what I want to know, so I can laugh, because that'd be hilarious.
No, it's his ankle.
Hilarious Tony.
It's his ankle. And Sterling Shepard, Darius Slayton, they both got back to practice. They both had hamstring injuries, so I don't know how excited I would be to give them a go in this week.
Yeah. Either way, they ain't gonna take Kadarius Toney's spot.
Hell no, not anymore.
You know why? Because if they try to, he'll headbutt him in the face.
Yeah, he's not playing. I need to get that. I need to go look for that video so we could just have that ready to be queued up if we need to talk shit to someone.
He headbutted coach.
And you saw him too, like he headbutted. I mean, it wasn't on purpose. He was just like just swinging his head around. He's got that big ass dome, and then he like looks at the coach, and the coach is like knocked out, like pretty much looks like he's been punched, like in the face. Doesn't even know what's going on, and he didn't even care. He was like, "Man, fuck that!" Like still pissed at the play.
Some people say he's crazy. I'll say he's passionate.
Yeah. There you go. Vips B, what up, bro? Yeah. And Richard said coaches want Tua. I think everybody wants Tua. I mean, Brissett is just he's super average, super neutral, like just very blah.
He's probably going to lose you the game, but he's also not going to win you the game.
Yeah, exactly. And they need someone, and who knows if Tua is going to be that guy. We shall see. But, I'm glad that this came up today on the day that TD was on the show, because T.Y. Hilton back at practice. TD, you've been making some bold claims about T.Y. Hilton since the offseason. Now's the perfect time to get those thoughts out now that he's coming back. Let's hear it. You got the stage.
So, Michael Pittman is good. But nobody can stretch the field like T.Y., even though he's older. I understand he's older. So Carson Wentz always had a good arm. So I just felt like beginning of the season, that T.Y. was going to have some big plays, at least one big play a game. And that's a flex play for me. I won't, it's kind of like playing Deshaun Jackson for the Rams. You're just looking for the big play. So I feel like T.Y. Hilton could be a league-winning player for me because he was going to hit some big plays for me to help stretch the field so Jonathan Taylor could do work between the tackles.
Especially in redraft leagues. I mean, he was drafted in a bunch, and I'm sure he was dropped, in a bunch as well, just depending on when you actually drafted. So he's available out there.
I have 2 shares of TY, one in a dynasty and one in a redraft, and then the Heart to Start Superflex. And I had so many injuries, I had to cut it because I only had so many spots in the IR, and I was like, all right, Hilton, peace.
That's what's tough when you got to make a decision like that. You got no more IR spots left. Doesn't matter what it is. You got to cut bait with one of those guys.
Like, make some room for Logan Thomas. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I forgot who it was. One of the Patreon members that I was talking to yesterday, he was like, what should I do here? And he had like 4 IR spots, and he had one player, I couldn't remember who it was, who was out on the on his bench. I was like, man, you got to cut Jeff Wilson and you got to put other dude in your IR. It's tough, but that's a decision we got to make, and hopefully he's there in a week or two.
We only got. Go ahead.
By the way, in all those bold predictions, 75% of them is hitting too, Hustler.
Oh yeah, and especially the 0 RB. As much as I poke fun at you about the 0 RB, like everybody does, but. In the leagues where I went 0 RB, I'm actually doing better, but it's because I hit on guys like Kareem Hunt, James Robinson, guys like that. And so that shit didn't even make a difference not picking an RB high, but you got to hit on those guys.
I wonder what.
And I say you wait to the 3rd and 4th round to try to hit. If you try to hit in the 1st round and you miss, it's over. So I say let a couple games happen. Go with a guy that you feel good and trade for him with the capital that you drafted with.
So there's one league. It is a super flex league, but it's a weird ass league where it's got some rules where whoever's the highest scorer, they get to pick whatever the super flex position is going to be. But I had the 3rd overall pick, and CMC went off the board. Dalvin Cook went off the board, and I went Patrick Mahomes based on the scoring. He's potentially going to be the highest scorer in the league and way higher than a lot of these running backs. And the guy who picked CMC, he ain't in first place, I believe. He's towards the bottom. And that guy who picked Dalvin Cook, same thing. But guess what? I'm in number 1 in the league right now at 4-1, and we're killing the game.
And I've been telling people to take quarterbacks, even in single quarterback leagues. You can take a quarterback number 1 if you hit. If you get the right guy, imagine if you drafted Justin Herbert with the first pick. I still feel like you got a good fantasy team.
Yeah, but see, you know why I'm never doing that? I'm fully aware I could get that guy later.
You could have got a Josh Allen or a Kyler Murray or a Herbert. Definitely not in round 1 in a single. Even if it's 4th or 5th round, you can get some of those guys.
See, but in a super flex, one point every 15 passing yards. I've been in a redraft super flex. I've been 3rd overall and took Josh Allen because someone took Mahomes and Cook, or you know what I mean. Like there's been times where I even took Allen over Kyler, even though I have Kyler at number 1. But it was just like, for a while, I was just kind of regretting, like, damn, Dalvin Cook. Damn, I should. But you know what? I'm glad I took Josh Allen or Kyler Murray, for that matter. You know what I mean?
But Bogard, you said later rounds you can get that guy. Yeah, So I'm thinking you talking like Ryan Tannehill, not Josh Allen. Yeah, those are the guys.
No.
If you don't get those 5 or 6 guys, then I don't think you can compete.
I'm talking about Justin Herbert specifically because you brought him up. In the single QB league, I know I can get him in the 4th or 5th round. You know what I mean?
And I saw him go later. It depends on your league, but I saw Justin Herbert go in the 9th round in a single QB, and it was someone who I wish I grabbed, but in that single QB, I think I waited on Tom Brady, so got someone like even later who's doing just as good.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean I don't even want to draft a QB early in single QB leagues anymore, but maybe it wasn't drafting the RB high might have not been the thing either. Because if I would have went with Devonte Adams, even though Tyreek Hill's had a couple off games, CMC's only played 2 weeks. Some of these other guys getting hurt already, and man, that shit, it hurts. If you don't hit like perfectly on all 3 of your picks, and mainly it's really injury more than anything. If one of your top 3 picks get injured, you're already behind the 8 ball a little bit.
Yep.
No matter what.
You know what's crazy too is like I am the guy who right after the draft, I'm already consolidating players down like 2-for-1 trades. And then I have no depth, but I'm top fuck. And like, you know, fantasy, God forbid, I start getting these injuries, I'm fucked. And I year after year because I'm always just trying to win. And I feel like that's how I win. Just get the best players as possible.
Oh, and I just thought of something. You traded for CMC in the league that we're playing against each other today. And so he's coming back to practice on a limited basis, but they already said that he's a game time decision.
Yeah.
Let's just sit him out, you know, just let him hang out for another week. We don't need him to play this week. I know I got him in a couple leagues, but yeah, we don't need him to play, right, Bogard? Let's keep him fresh for the entire year.
Listen, give me a fresh Chuba in there, and I'm not mad at it because Minnesota, they're ass against the run. You know what I mean? And Chuba finally did some work.
Finally got it. He's got hands like frying pans. That's one thing that makes sense.
Yeah, but let's just not throw him in the ball there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because listen, I'd rather have him just get the rush attempt than just drop the pass and make me upset. Because he's dropping everything, bro. He has Eric Ebron syndrome.
That's why teams are like literally leaving him wide open in the flats, is because it's more likely that he's going to drop it than catch it, and they're not worried about giving up 5-10 yards to him.
Hey, he always looked like someone made a play on the ball, but no one's there. He's just.
So we shall see. But yeah, Panthers versus the Vikings. I'm assuming that's going to be a good game. But for the Vikings, we got a bunch of people who didn't practice. So Anthony Barr not practicing, but the big ones are Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen not practicing. I mean, Adam Thielen, I can understand, you know, a little long in the tooth, but Justin Jefferson, I don't know why he wouldn't be missing a Wednesday practice for vet rest, I don't think. But yeah, we shall see. Thursday practice is more important than Wednesday, anyways.
And Carolina's defense, they hungry right now, bro.
Hell yeah.
They let one go. They let one go last week.
They're like Tyrese in what's it called? Fast and the Furious 2. Remember when that motherfucker was hungry all show, all movie? That's the Panthers right now.
Told y'all I was hungry. Hey, cuz. That was funny when Paul Walker would be like, hey, yo, cuz. I'm hungry, cuz.
We ain't hungry no more. But yeah, so Viking, just wanted to throw that out there. I know everyone may be panicking, you know, seeing the Q go up next to Jefferson, next to Thielen. We're going to get a lot of Qs on Wednesday. So Thursday is really more important. So the Thursday and the Friday show that we do Fantasy News Today, those are the most important shows of the week, hands down.
I like Wednesday.
All right.
Every day is important.
Every day is important. Tap in every day. All right, for the Broncos, got a little bit of news for the Broncos. Melvin Gordon not practicing. I hope he just doesn't play. Like, I called my shot. I think this is going to be Javonte Williams' big game. I think he's going over 100. He's hitting pay dirt.
Yeah,
and if Melvin Gordon doesn't play, it's going to make that a lot easier.
I want to say something, man. This is not 2017 because that's the only time I like. Hey, fuck Melvin Gordon. Step aside. Let the young bull do his thing.
Steven, what up, bro? Not sure why he's being censored. It's because you're on Facebook, man, and Facebook is lame. There's a link in the description that you can click, and it'll allow your picture and name to pop up. But just hop over to YouTube, man. Screw Facebook. Hop over to YouTube, everyone, if you're watching.
Facebook give me money.
Yeah, when they do. Mark Zuckerberg, man, he ain't giving out too many dollars to anybody. I don't think that's happening.
That's how the rich stay rich.
Yep. And another piece for the Broncos is John Brown. If you guys didn't check out the episode yesterday, John Brown has been signed to their practice squad, and they said the next 3 days are going to determine how quickly he's going to be able to move up to the active roster. Now, the only reason that I don't like John Brown coming on here is because him and Tim Patrick do similar things, and I think that he's going to eat into Tim Patrick's workload a little bit, not a whole bunch, but even a little bit. You know, that could hurt a guy like Tim Patrick.
I'm gonna go on a limb here and say I only want to fuck with Cortland Sutton, and when Jared Jeudy comes back, that's the only other I would start there outside of Javonte. because I think Noah Fant ain't really handling. I don't know what it is.
I disagree with you a little bit, Bogard. And just everybody's been trying to push Tim Patrick off. Bruh, you can't. He's the most reliable receiver. Judy is more talented. Copeland is okay. He's a solid receiver. But Tim Patrick is a hard-working bell cow guy. And you think that you're more talented than he is, and two, he keeps showing up from week to week. And he's been doing this for what, 5 years?
Here's the thing, TD. Here's the thing. They're telling us without saying it. That's why they're bringing in John Brown. That's why Tim Patrick don't beat out those other guys. He's the backup. You know what I mean? And
I don't understand why Tim Patrick was 4th on the depth chart to start the season. I mean,
Me too.
I know that Jerry Jeudy and Cortland Sutton, those are the number 1 and 2. But KJ Hamler didn't prove anything last year. Like, he got hurt last year, now he got hurt this year too. So I know that the potential and the upside may have been there. I know they drafted KJ Hamler high, but yeah, Tim Patrick, he's like the Rodney Dangerfield of wide receivers out there. Ain't getting no respect.
Yep.
All right, let's see what else we got here on the slate. Oh, how about for the Titans? Julio Jones back at practice. Finally, no news on where it's going to go this week, but finally back at practice. If Julio gets in 3 days of practice and he's, let's say he's limited all week because that's just how he lives, would you even consider playing him this Sunday?
Yes, I would.
Or Monday.
Yes, I would, Hustler. And so if they play him and A.J. Brown, I actually think the Tennessee Titans have a chance this game. I know I'm going out on a limb, but I want to stake this claim now.
That defense is too bad. That defense is too ass.
But it's the NFL, and it's a week-to-week thing. So I believe with Derrick Henry, he can mess up the whole game flow. And if he start eating, this offense will start eating, and it'll keep Buffalo off the field. So I actually think that if Julio plays, I'm playing Ryan Tannehill. Actually, and just because it's my team, I'm playing him over Justin Fields. So I don't know, like, I'd rather play Tannehill going against Buffalo than play Justin Fields because it doesn't look good. So if Julio plays, I'm running Ryan Tannehill out there, and I actually think Tennessee has a good game script this week. I know I'm the lone guy on that, but I'm fine with that.
And hold on, Bogart, just before we throw this out there. So Tre'Davious White, he's been shutting down a lot of premier wide receivers, including guys like Tyreek Hill. And it's always the other guy who eats. And we know that Trey White's going to be covering A.J. Brown and nobody else in this game. So I'm super nervous about A.J. Brown.
Levi Wallace got banged up too. So, you know what I mean? Even if he's their second best corner, in my opinion, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
How about this? If Julio got a backup on him, bro, or even Levi Wallace, bro, I love this. I love it. And look at, they play the Monday night game. So they're going their normal, except for practice is like Tuesday. It's Tuesday for them. You get what I'm saying? So it's early in their practice week. He's trending towards playing because this is not a Wednesday for them. You get what I'm saying?
The Saturday practice, that's the most important practice for the Monday game. That's like the Friday practice for everybody else. So
if he's limited today and he gets into a full by Friday, he's for damn sure going to play. You know what I mean? Because if he gets in a full Friday, he'll get in a full Saturday, obviously. You know what I mean? But he's trending already. He's trending.
Yep. So
Derrick Henry's the Buffalo killer. Watch what I said, homie. Watch.
I hope you're right, man, because I got Derrick Henry everywhere.
Derrick Henry is the everyone killer. Like, man, that guy's just a beast.
Shout out to Derrick Henry, man.
Did you guys saw some of the crazy ass like workouts and stuff that he was doing during the offseason, right?
Yep. He's a Hall of Famer.
The one thing that I don't
right now, if he didn't play another down, he's a Hall of Famer.
Here's the one thing I don't understand about everybody's like reasoning, behind how Derrick Henry was going to flop this year, get injured or whatever. I mean, anybody can get injured on any given play. So I'm out of that. Like someone's getting injured this year just because any player can get injured on any play of the goddamn game. And it could be career ending is what it could be. There's a gladiator sport, but Derrick Henry, when he first came into the league, he wasn't getting used 300 carries, season. Like he was a backup for like his first 2 seasons in the NFL.
Yep. He didn't have 100 carries his first 2 seasons.
Yeah, so I mean, people are tripping on that, and man, you see those crazy ass workloads. Like, man, he's doing like 5 exercises like mixed into one, like those crazy ass push-ups with all the things on him, the crazy chains, and all the dumbbells on his back, and all types of shit. Those crazy
standing on one leg, making people push him on one leg.
Yeah,
I seen the joint, right? He was doing all that shit, towing a car, and Deion Lewis was on his back, bruh.
little bro on his back.
It's just him up. Come on, push.
That picture looks so funny. You know what it reminds me of? So the Deion Lewis picture next to Derrick Henry, it reminds me of twins, Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito. Like that was them. They were the twins for that team. So funny.
He carries Deion Lewis on his back everywhere, bruh.
Yep. All right, Vanessa, what up? So no news on Jamal Williams as of yet, but for Chris Carson, he's not practicing today. They said that the expectation is that he practices tomorrow. I still would be already like thinking about pivoting, either way, and they go up against the Steelers, so it's not going to be a good matchup either way for him.
Yeah, I'm not fooling with Chris Carson at all right now. I don't even think he plays this game, to be honest with you. If he gets into a limited and they say he's the go limited on the field, I'm not really fooling with that.
Let's remember it's a neck injury. This isn't an ankle, or something like that. Like, that's his neck. If he takes a wrong hit or something, like you said, any hit can ruin a career. Like, he takes the wrong hit to high on his neck or something, that's like life-ending stuff, like life-injuring stuff. So like, they're not trying to mess him up right away.
Maybe they talking to him like they did Shark on Any Given Sunday.
Yeah.
You remember when Shark broke his neck, but he kept playing football?
Yeah, need his bonus.
Yeah.
Oh shit, that's right, for Any Given Sunday.
LT. That's all these players are gladiators. I know that there's some players who, maybe they get a paper cut and they don't play. But for the most part, you got to be really tough to play in the NFL. Like, maybe the wide receivers, might be the biggest divas out of everybody. But to be a running back, you got to be a dog. You are getting hit every single time you touch the ball, and you're trying to inflict more pain on your opponent than they, inflict on you. So, yeah, we know he wants to play. I'm glad that they're playing it safe because we've seen this story too many times. Comes back, gets hurt again, and then is out for even longer.
Hey, you know what's funny? Is like everything Russ was complaining about in the offseason is what fucks up that whole team. They can't run the ball because the line is bad. He has to scramble, and he leads the league in sacks ever since he came into the league because that line is bad. And then, like, look at now he got a busted finger. Chris Carson's all banged up. It's just this is why I say Pete Carroll is old and senile. I understand when people do things great before, but it's not like for example, it's not like we will go and tell Mike Tyson to fight fucking Tyson Fury right now. You know what I mean? Like yes, we remember Mike Tyson was great, but even Mike Tyson knows not going to go in there right now. You know what I mean? Like it's the same thing with Pete Carroll to me, bro. You're old. You're an old timer. You're out of your era now. You know what I mean?
Pete Carroll's one of my favorite coaches.
I know. We've had this. Me and you have had the Pete Carroll debate a few times. You know
yes, and I actually think they're gonna do very well with Geno, and the reason why is because of Pete Carroll. If you ask Geno to throw it 40 times a game, they're gonna lose. But if you ask him to play that, let's call it Pete Carroll ball, I think they're gonna be able to win like that. So I think Seattle is gonna upset some people.
What if they threw it 40 times, but 30 of those went to DK and Tyler Lockett?
That's what I'm talking about, Hustler. That's what I'm talking about.
No, I'm not mad at this situation for fantasy purposes. I'm talking about in reality. Like, you know what Pete Carroll ball is? Playing good D and running hard-nosed running the ball.
And their defense sucks. Like, their defense is worse than the league right now.
They not play Pete Carroll ball. They're playing Ellen DeGeneres ball right now. You know what I mean?
But hey, they was worse last year, Hustler, and they changed it around at the end of the season.
Well, they traded for Carlos Dunlap, and then they're now Now you had someone that could actually pass rush, and you didn't have to have your best player, which is a safety, do that for you. You know what I mean? So that correlates with them turning things around. You know,
that's also why they're not getting as many sacks, though, is because Adams isn't rushing the QB like he used to. They need to let him do what he does and just get after the quarterback.
Or just put his ass at linebacker.
Yeah.
He'd be so hot.
He's a damn linebacker masquerading as a safety. I can cover. No, you can't. Get your ass in the box and play linebacker.
They need to just let him be like Troy Polamalu was. Like, he's smart enough to do that, just give him free roam. Quandre Diggs, just make him go all the way back, last line of defense, and he's good enough to where he can get sideline to sideline. But yeah, they better figure out something because, even you saying that they've improved, their defense, I mean, that's what's crazy. They went from like an F to a D minus, but they're still last in class, right now.
Them and the Chiefs they're duking it out for worst defense.
Facts. That's facts.
But your defense and offense sometimes have to work together unless you got Hall of Famers on the defensive side of the ball. So you can't be throwing around 40 times and your defense don't have a lot of stars on it. But if you run the ball 30 times, your defense all of a sudden they got 14 less points this game. Why? I don't know. It's just the way it's game script.
Well, and it sounds like a good plan, but everyone's got a plan until they get punched in the face. That's really what it is. And like, if they don't have Chris Carson, how are they going to punch the Steelers in the face? Alex Collins ain't going to do it. Like, he's going to get smashed, like right away. Like, they're not going to be able to get the run game going. So that's why I just feel like the Steelers, you could throw on them. I mean, you better go up, big right away because the Steelers are going to be chucking it. It's going to be a crazy-ass game. I'm excited. I don't know if it can live up to last week's Sunday Night Football, but I think this is going to be one of the higher-scoring games, even with Geno Smith at quarterback, because you got Tyler Lockett and you got DK Metcalf, and those guys are going to get loose.
I wouldn't play Tyler. I'm not going to play Tyler with Geno being in there. I don't know if they're going to be on the same page. I got to see it first.
Because he did have 10 targets in that game, and, Russ went out. It was pretty early.
It was like 7 with Rush, right? And then the last 3 was with Geno.
I don't remember. I didn't see the split on that. But if they're smart, which I hope they're smarter than me, why wouldn't you scheme up Tyler Lockett to run a little bit more short intermediate route versus going deep? Because Russ could cook deep. Geno might not be that guy. But if you got DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett both running intermediate routes, together, like it'd be tough to cover either one of them one-on-one.
I agree.
We'll see if they're smarter than me, though. I hope they are because I need Tyler Lockett to do some big things this week. And then, so let's see. What do we got next here? Real quick for the Lions. So TJ Hawkinson did not practice. Wednesday practice, we know he's already banged up. Ever since he got hurt, he hasn't been doing much, and makes me a little bit nervous. If TJ Hawkinson isn't going, it seems like the Lions are just in shambles.
Yeah, I think with tight ends, even with Kyle Pitts, I don't really care what he does. I know what he is, so that's why I would pick him as a tight end. But you can't worry about the tight end position. If Travis Kelce go 3 weeks and he duds you, are you going to sit him? No. So you just got to plug. You drafted TJ Hawkinson. If he's healthy, you got to plug him out there, and you can't worry about the points. That's what the tight end position is to me in fantasy. So, and plus, there's this offense. They don't got any weapons. So they're going to double team TJ Hawkinson and make Quentin Cephas, which he's hurt from the rest of the season. But Amon-Ra St. Brown, you think he's going to be able to take pressure off of TJ Hawkinson? I don't think so. So I don't like the run game.
Yeah, not to where he's going to, demand any double teams or anything right away. And the only way that Amon-Ra St. Brown, he was my number one waiver wire ad for wide receiver just because it's getting real thin out there when you get under 50% rostered. He's at least getting, 8 targets a game over the last couple games. And so, but he's not hitting pay dirt. If he doesn't get a touchdown, he's just going to be a middle of the road flex, at best. But for some people out there struggling, you may need that guy in your flex.
Right.
All right, and then let's see. Oh, and then Vanessa also asked about Dalvin Cook. So the only thing we know about Dalvin Cook is he practiced on a limited basis today. Thursday and Friday practice are going to be super, super important for Dalvin Cook.
He probably plays this week, and hopefully he plays full time because I don't know, Hustle. Let me ask you because I'm biased. What would you do if he they say, well, yeah, he's playing, and he kind of like he didn't practice like a lot. He was limited doing practice during the week. What do you do with Alexander Madison and Dalvin Cook? What do you do?
You play Dalvin Cook. I mean,
Okay.
them keeping him out an extra game is leading me to believe that they're waiting until he's 100%. Because
Okay.
if he was limited last year, I remember, I mean, there was games where he was limited all week and he still ended up playing.
Okay.
You know, so maybe it's one of those things where they're getting smart. You keep him out an extra game, and then he's a little bit closer to 100%. That's really the only reason that's leading me to believe he's going to play a little bit more. But they still could, if they go up, which, I mean, they're going against the Panthers. I don't know if they're going to be going up on the Panthers like that.
Okay.
But if they went up, by 14 points, 21 points or something, maybe they bring Madison in for, a handful of series in a row and just rest Dalvin. But I don't know if it's going to be one of those
running back. If you start him, is he a top 12 running back?
I mean, in this matchup, I would say he's fringe top 12 because, I mean, the Panthers are pretty solid, but you'd still have to have three better options, to sit Dalvin Cook, in my opinion.
Okay.
I mean, that's just the way it is. You got to have two better running backs, and you got to have a better wide receiver or running back, to throw over him. So I'd still be playing him either way. Kind of like you said before, you made your bed, now you got to sleep in it. It is what it is. Because if Dalvin Cook balls out, you're going to feel extra stupid leaving him, on the bench, and he's got that kind of upside.
I agree.
Let's see who else we got here. For the Texans, okay, a couple pieces. Well, actually, just one piece of news is that Tyrod Taylor not available this week. They made it official. He's not playing this week. We'll see if it's next week. We'll see if it's the week after. But the coach Culley, he said that when Tyrod is healthy, he's the guy. He's the starter. So either way, if you have Tyrod and you're in a super flex or something, don't drop him because Davis Mills hasn't earned, the starting role if Tyrod's healthy.
That's tricky. I'm thinking, what if Davis Mills goes out and has 2 games like he had against New England? Do you think they make that move? The Houston Texans, they go back to Tyrod?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so, Hustler. And I said this. I said, Tyrod, you are so unlucky, bro. You are allergic to rookie quarterbacks. Every time a rookie quarterback come in, something bad happens to him. Like he got his lungs punctured by a shot.
Bogey, tell him the Scott Fishbowl story because I'm loving this. I'm loving this.
So listen, Hustler hits me up. Well, actually, we were already talking on the phone. He was like, "All right, check this out, Bogey. I'm up." He's like, "My last 2 picks in a row for the Scott Fishbowl." He's like, "Who should I grab here?" And he's telling me his roster, and he's telling me how everything came about. And I'm like, "There's Davis Mills right there." I'm like, and I said, I call Tyrod the usher because he is there to usher in the rookie QB. You know what I mean? Third time's a charm. They even, what's funny? You know who's the only guy that didn't hit, that didn't get the job fully was Nathan Peterman because all he wanted to do is throw pick sixes. But other than that, every rookie QB behind him takes Tyrod's job.
Yep.
I got to see Davis Mills do it more than he did it last week. That's really it. Last week, if that's his upside, that's his ceiling. Patriots also are sucking right now. He's got the Colts. They got the Colts this week. Hawkinson, he's hurt. We don't know if he's going to play or not. What's his name? Xavier Rhodes, their second cornerback. He's also hurt. Kyrie Willis is hurt. So everything is lining up for him to have a good game because everyone in the secondary for the Colts is banged up. That's why can't take anything away from Lamar, but that's another reason why it's probably a little bit easier to throw on the Colts than in the past because literally their entire secondary was all second stringers.
Yep.
We shall see. But I hope that Davis Mills is the guy for my Scott Fishbowl. That's really it because I got Scott Fishbowl. He's my 4th QB there. I got Herbert, who's killing it. We got Cousins, and then got Teddy Bridgewater, and then Davis Mills. I also have Deshaun Watson, but that was another reason why we got Mills right at the end, just to make sure that we get a little bit of insurance.
Yeah, I got Tyrod. I had to pick up Bissett, and actually Bissett been playing pretty good for me.
Nice.
But that's just fantasy. He plays terrible in real life, but fantasy, he in the 4th quarter he get a couple garbage time touchdowns. So
that's all we need, man. Garbage time is king in fantasy. For the Browns, got a lot of people not practicing this week, but the main names, Chubb, Clowney, Garrett, Kareem Hunt, David Njoku. So Wednesday vet practice. Let's see what happens on Thursday and Friday with these guys, because Myles Garrett, I don't even think he practiced at all last week. And I don't even think there was an injury. I think he was just like chilling. Like they were like, just take the week off, bring that full motor on Sunday. And last piece for the Browns is, they actually said, and no one's ruled out for Sunday. They wanted to make sure to make that clear. And they said Jarvis Landry is expected to practice. He's available to come off IR this week. They haven't said if he's going to be designated yet, but this is the first week that he's eligible to come back.
Okay.
What do you think about the Browns, Bogey? You think all these this is all just a vet rest Wednesday day?
Yeah, I mean they have a big game ahead of them. You know what I mean? And that what they do, their style of play is just it is old school. Just pound the rock, beat them up. You know what I mean? So a Wednesday rest, I'm not too worried. Is the Nick Chubb? That's the first I heard of him on the injury report. What's going on with him?
Says calf.
I don't like that. I don't like that. That one's tough.
You talking about Chubb?
Yeah.
Calf injuries are tough, man. Because calf, when you're a running back, calf, that affects the Achilles, connected to the Achilles, like all that. Like, you know what I mean? Your explosiveness, all that.
I wouldn't mind seeing Kareem Hunt get that full workload. I don't have a lot of Kareem Hunt this year, but Kareem Hunt getting that full workload, that could be 180 yards in a game, like for his total. Kareem Hunt is a monster.
I have so much Kareem Hunt everywhere. He was the guy that I loved to grab as an RB2 in pretty much every league. I have him in so many leagues. I only have one share of Nick Chubb, and that's it. So if that did end up happening, I would be really excited.
And I have so much Nick Chubb, and I have zero Kareem Hunt.
Yeah, Kareem Hunt's he's been helping a couple of my teams ball, but I got him in the Scott Fish Bowl. I got him in that Real Reality Fantasy Football League that I'm in first place in right now. So
what do they use over there? Do they use Sleeper?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep. It's been pretty dope. It's nice leading the pack. I need to get the top scorer, but last week I told you how they have the goofy ass crazy rule about whoever scores the most in the week, they get to choose what the super flex position is. And so I was the highest scorer in the first week. I had Patrick Mahomes and Russ, and so I chose QB for the next week. But I was the only one who made sure to lock up a bunch of QBs. So it was right after that it got changed. It was wide receiver, and then it was running back.
That's so whack. First of all, man, I'll be the first one putting everybody on blast. That's something people are DMing the commission about. They ain't putting that in the board. They don't realize what's going on. I wasn't aware that. Yo, shut up. People start complaining when they lose, bro.
Oh yeah, and so in the that's just one of the goofy ass rules in this league. Is whoever scores the highest points, they get to choose what the super flex is. And then so last week, someone chose the tight end.
The regular flex, then.
Pretty much, yeah. Well, it's whatever it is that week, yeah. And then someone doubled up and chose the tight end again this week. And I'm glad that nobody was paying attention to me and my team, because if someone would have chose quarterback, I would have been fucked this week, because I got Russ, who went out. Patrick Mahomes in there as my number one, but Russ went out. I got Jameis Winston, who's on bye, and my other one is Zach Wilson, who's also on bye. So if someone would have been actually smart and looking at who could have got fucked this week, if someone would have picked quarterback, I would have been in a real bad position. I actually like the tight end because I've got somewhat decent. I don't even have decent ones. They did decent enough to where they didn't give me zeros.
That's a rule. But the moment they so you can still pick quarterback then.
No, they already chose tight end. That's
saying though, if you get the most points, you can still say quarterback if you wanted to.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay, I thought they tried to ban it. That's why I was ranting earlier.
No, it's pretty much people hating on because there's a bunch of people who went like 0 QB in a super flex league, if we could say that. Like one of the guys who pushed off QBs forever, he was so excited when he got Derek Carr and Danny Pesos as his number 1 and 2. Like he was like doing victory laps.
He was killing it for 3 weeks with that duo.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
Weeks.
Yeah, I mean, in our division, he's in my division. We got 3 players in each division. He's at the point where I'm doing so good that he's about to fall out of contention for even being able to compete for the playoff spot.
You know what's funny is you could tell when people have never played Superflex because they just try to push quarterback off like it's a single QB league.
Yep. And, to a certain extent, I can understand that. But if you start dropping to guys that are going around, 18, 19, 20, and those are the guys who you're banking on to, like, will you to victory, like, yeah, it ain't going to end good. And this guy thought he was, like, all good in the hood because I think he got, like, actually, he had CMC. And so that was the biggest thing that he was like, oh, I'm set. Then catches an injury to CMC. Don't got Chuba.
It was his fault.
Probably.
He didn't curse them right there. Like, oh, I'm gonna win now.
Yep. All right, back to some news. And so for the Chiefs, we got another one of these big days of guys not practicing. As bad as their defense is, we don't need to see their defensive players on this list. But Anthony Hitchens starting running back, Shavarius Ward, they're starting cornerback, Chris Jones, lineman, and then Tyreek Hill not practicing also, and then Joe Thuney on their lineman, offensive lineman, not practicing also.
Hey, the Bills went in there and beat them down.
Yep, they're limping around there after that game.
You know what? I wonder how much of it is their pride hurt.
I mean, Bills are the team to beat now in the AFC. Like, they stole that torch from them.
Hey, you know what's so funny? I hate it when the quarterbacks that we love are so good and we know they're good. Then they start getting recognized outside of football. Like, I'm tired of turning on the television and I see Patrick Mahomes and all these commercials, but I'm like, yo, win Super Bowls, bro. You know what I mean? Like, it's just funny because it's par for the course, but like, I mean, I've seen it happen to all of them, bro.
Okay, now real quick, we're not talking about the content itself, okay? But who would you rather see on a commercial right now? Who's earned it more, Patrick Mahomes or Baker Mayfield? Because Baker Mayfield, he's had more commercials than he had wins at one point.
Listen, but yep. Baker Mayfield was an entire vibe before he even got to the NFL. You know what I mean? Like, he's a whole ass other vibe. You know what I mean? And I think he's hilarious. I think I would rather see Baker Mayfield commercials because I would put money on the Chiefs actually being more successful in reality all day. As painful as to say as I love the Browns right now. You know what I mean?
Thanks, but you have to admit, he's no Sharon Stone.
Yeah, he's
And there you go, Big Kong. Proud to hear that Hustler is a Winston owner. Winston was like him and Darnold. That's like my QB3 in like almost every league that I have this year in all my super flex leagues. So I got a bunch of Winston for sure. All right, let's see. Oh, the Bengals. Okay. So Zach Taylor says that Mixon is going to be managed throughout the week. So if we see him coming up with the limiteds, we know why. But they say he's good to go versus the Lions. And Chris Evans, he got moved up to number 2 on the depth chart because Samaje Perine is on the illness reserve now.
Yeah. So listen, I really like Chris Evans. Like, how about this? Do you think the Bengals will be like, yo, Joe, how you feeling? And Joe Mixon's like, man, I'm still a little banged up. You're like, listen, we might sit you out because, we're going to go ahead and take the line.
Hell no, that better not happen. That set the step back from playing last week and, like, being okay.
I mean, like I'm just saying, like, this is why they're limiting him in practice on purpose, right? They don't want him to re-aggravate nothing. But if he ain't feeling right, I'm just saying, in the world where they should handle the Lions easy, I would love Chris Evans here. Someone that'll get all the work. You know what I mean?
No, we don't need that. Don't even roll that into existence. Let's not put that out there. Let's take that back all the way.
I have it taken from the record.
All right. For Washington, some other guys not practicing. Gibson's not practicing, and then Curtis Samuel not practicing. We talked about it a little bit earlier where Curtis Samuel might be low man on the totem pole. You know, in your league, I think I put in a few waiver claims with him being the guy that was going to be dropped. You know, Gibson, he's been playing through this shin issue for multiple weeks, so I'm sure he's good to go.
I think we should just this is par for the course for Gibson now. Every Wednesday he's not going to practice. I'm fine with that. I'd be more concerned if he doesn't practice consecutive days in a row. I might even, if that's the case, just in case, I'll go ahead and swoop up Jared Patterson just in case, because I love this matchup. I think everyone smacks in this matchup. They're going up against KC. We just listed all the guys that are going to be down. Give me everything, Washington. DeAndre Carter, sleeper of the week. Dial him up.
Oh, yeah. Balling last week. And TD, what do you think about Washington? You firing everybody up? What about Ricky Seals-Jones? He worth getting fired up if you got an injury?
Fire him up.
Well, I guess, Hustler, to be fair to your question, if you ain't got nothing else better, you got to, right?
Well, let's say you don't have Travis Kelce or Darren Waller. Could literally be anybody else that you have, you know, especially if you caught an injury or something.
Yeah. I'm just not a big fan of Ricky Seals, but I'm not going to be disingenuous to people who need tight ends. If you need a tight end, you can fire him up. He's starting. So if a guy's starting, sometimes you just got to play those guys that's starting. You can't worry about how many targets they get in and all that. But like Bogard was saying, I love DeAndre Carter. He's going to play the Curtis Samuel role.
Ricky Seals-Jones or Dan Arnold. These are some decisions people are going to have to make this week. You know what I mean?
And for me, it would be Ricky Seals-Jones. I mean, he got 8 targets in the first game that he actually played as the starter. And there's just not a lot of pieces outside of Terry McLaurin and the running backs. Carter, like Bogart just said, he was doing some good things last week. So who the hell knows? They're going up against the Chiefs. This is one of those games you fire up everybody.
Yeah, I think J.D. McKissick is you could throw him in there too.
Yep.
Antonio Gibson eats. I don't think McKissick. I think Antonio Gibson gets 2 touchdowns.
Don't
yards.
do it.
The Kansas City
Don't you think so? Don't do it.
We already know Gibson's gonna eat. We already know. And Cole,
that's
what
not
up, Cole? Good looking on the super chat, bro. Yeah, about to smoke a fat one for you. Should I trade Kamara for Devonte Adams? RBs are strong with Swift, Henderson, and Patterson, but my wide receivers are weak with DJ Moore, AJ Brown, Ruggs, and Jones Jr. That's what's crazy is like on paper.
Swift.
Yeah, like what I mean, when you it's probably the other person who's trading Adams saying they don't want anybody besides Kamara. I know if I had Devonte Adams, and I wouldn't be giving him up for anybody other than, you know, a guy like Kamara.
You could push the fact that DeAndre Swift right now, or I'm sorry, I had his name right. DeAndre Swift right now is what, running back 7?
Yeah, I mean, here's what you got to do. You got to do DeAndre Swift +1, and it may be overpaying, but who cares? Then you get to keep Kamara and you get Devonte Adams. So, yeah, Swift. I mean, just what Bogart said. He's a top 10 running back right now. Like that means something, especially right now for people that are hurting.
Is Kamara even in the as an RB? Is he RB1 right now?
You know what?
Because I know we looked at it the other day. We did a nice little exercise just to put some perspective on the landscape of the running back position.
So we got Henry, Eckler, Patterson, Harris, Zeke, Hunt, Swift, Kamara. They're literally back to back. But that you can use that to your advantage. Swift has more points than Kamara right now.
And definitely throw him another piece, man. You know what I mean?
Throwing one of those wide receivers is probably going to want DJ Moore or AJ Brown. Throwing Ruggs, throwing Marvin Jones Jr. Marvin Jones Jr. is going to do really good against the Dolphins this week if Xavier Howard doesn't play. So I would try to throw in Marvin Jones Jr. if he wasn't expecting a wide receiver back anyways. Now I'm going to give you Swift, who's doing better than Kamara right now, and Marvin Jones Jr. You didn't even want 2 players, and I'm about to give you a Christmas present early. So just give it up.
And you know what? You know what's the thing too? Then you be like, bruh, you can't even start Kamara. And here's DeAndre Swift.
Yeah, that's another good point. Yeah, you don't want Kamara because you got to win this week, and you can't win this week with Kamara on your bench. So, yeah.
And I'm going to tell y'all, if I'm the other guy, hell no. I'm not.
If it was me, I definitely would not be making that trade, giving up Adam.
TD, he didn't close the door shut on a few of my trade offers.
Because
well,
that's
you know
what
Bogard will try to. It take him 6 months. He'll try to work a 6 month deal on you. Like he'll ask for certain players and just work his way down. You like, man, can we get to the nitty gritty of this trade?
Slow game.
Yeah, especially in redraft. I can't even play that game. That's why me and Bogey never have still yet to get any kind of deal past initial talks.
Listen, bro, every Monday I'm looking at all the players that played poorly and I'm going right after the owner. I'm like, listen, like this week I'm trying to get me Keenan Allen. He had just like one down game and I'm like, listen, bro, you're hella mad at him. Let me get him up off you.
Yeah, and shout out to everyone leaving comments in here, asking questions. Don't forget, we got the Start and Sit live stream coming up about 1 hour and 15 minutes right here on the Fantasy Football Hustler channel. I answer 100% of Start and Sit questions that come in. If you want to get a question answered right now, do like my man Cole did and throw it in as a super chat. If not, hang out. We got one more piece of news to talk about, and then we'll be back in a little more than an hour. And so, Bears. All right. Nagy, he said that Fields is doing fine. Should be a full participant in practice today. He already said that when healthy, Fields is the guy. Bears are going up against the Packers this week. We're talking super flex, not single QB. With no Jair Alexander, is Fields someone you're considering putting in your lineup?
You got to roll him. If you got him, unless you drafted him and you drafted like 4 QBs and you drafted Fields just for next year when he comes on. But if you got him and he's one of your starters and you're trying to look for a strength, I wouldn't do that. You might as well just roll him out there because he's going to have a boom game. You don't want to have him on the bench when he has that game. So yeah, I'm gonna roll him out there.
I tend to agree with you, but like this is where Bogard shoots himself in the foot because I had the same aspirations for Lance last week. I threw him over Aaron Rodgers in one of my single QB leagues. Luckily, I pulled off the W. But man, it was I felt stupid after feeling so strongly about it. Then seeing more of it, and it's like, damn, if I saw this first, I would have been like, all right, we're waiting on him. You know what I mean?
But yeah, I agree with you, Bogard. But
we have seen Fields. He's only been getting better. I think them switching up the play callers, all that shit, it was getting annoying for a young QB to really latch onto and get a grasp of the playbook even. You know what I mean? But I think he's learning a little more. And I think this is the game because, man, Aaron Rodgers is going to put Aaron Rodgers loves kicking the Chicago Bears out.
As he should. And before you get in here, TD, here's a full practice report. Actually, just came through like 5 minutes ago. So Justin Fields was a full participant. So that was true there. Christian Jones, Darnell Mooney, Damian Williams were both limited. Then they had a handful of people who didn't practice. Akeem Hicks, Khalil Mack, Caleb Johnson, JP Holtz, and Allen Robinson.
He didn't practice.
Ankle.
This is a lie. They just you know what I hate, brother? Doing him in, bruh.
They get ready to trade
him in. They don't.
But now is the time to trade him? Like people don't even want to trade for him in fantasy football, let alone the NFL.
You know how about
this? People still believe him. They still feel good about him. Because they're gonna look at this and say, well, he's got a rookie quarterback, so his draft value is still high to me. Yeah. Imagine him going on the right team. Imagine him being on the Kansas City Chiefs or somebody like that.
And you know what, bro? He will end up somewhere next year. like a Chiefs or like the Bills.
But if they don't trade him, they don't get nothing for him. So they better trade him.
And see, and you know what?
He should have held out. He should have held out is what he should have did.
Well, here's the appeal. The appeal for him to get traded is that he's only has a franchise tag. So you could work it with Chicago and be like, listen, you guys are gonna front the bill, and we're gonna go ahead and take them, give you whatever rounds they want in return. Chicago, they kind of mortgaged the near future away to get Fields. I mean, so getting some picks back, they will do that. I feel like they've been doing Allen Robinson in like that this whole year, bro. Like not even trying to get him his shine, which is stupid because you need to shine him up, then ship him off. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because he's about to walk for nothing and about to feel really stupid.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, and let's see. A couple other pieces of news just came in here at the last second. Damian Harris did not practice today. He got banged up. It's like his ribs and his chest.
Bro, let's go. Rahamadre. However we say his name, bro. My man, Rahamadre Stevenson, bro.
Yeah.
Everywhere in this last waiver wire cycle because nobody was talking about him. I was like, and listen, I'm not trying to stunt or flex, but just the reality was I didn't have low priorities in a lot of my leagues this week because I had a really good week. 18 out of 21. Felt really good about that. Or I went 17 out of 21, actually. You know what I mean? Because shout out to being up like 120 points and then getting absolutely killed by Taylor and Wentz and Mark Andrews all on the same squad. And I lost by 100 after that.
Jeez.
Crazy.
Ooh, Trayvon Diggs. He didn't practice.
He'll be all right.
He's been money in the bank. And then last piece of news. Sammy Watkins stays hurt, missed practice with an injury. And all Coach Harbaugh had to say is we'll see how long it takes. So I think
Rashard Bateman. Let's go.
That's what I was going to say. Get him. You better pick him up now.
He's about to take off.
You know what's in most fantasy platforms, he's still designated in the IR, so I was able to swoop him and throw him in my IR right now.
Yeah, because he hasn't. I don't think he's officially came off the IR yet.
Yeah. And listen, I think they force it now. Now that Hammy Watkins.
Yeah, and I went on the waiver wire and where all my leagues I went to go find Rashard Bateman. And guess what league? Who had Rashard Bateman when I went to go find him? Hustler. I said, I ain't even gonna try to. I said, I'm gonna leave him alone. It's over. I'm not even gonna try to make the trade. You're not gonna get over on Hustler with no trade. I'm gonna tell you that now.
Everyone's for sale. Everybody has a price. You already know this is the exclusive tent that you're coming up to. So yeah, someone like Rashard Bateman, he ain't giving away for nickels and dimes.
Yeah, this is a dynasty league too. So you know what I mean.
Oh yeah, I was super hyped to get him, and yeah, I mean, I guess that's one thing that's cooler about a dynasty league than a redraft league. Knowing he went on the short-term IR, I didn't even care. It wasn't even a second thought. I leave him in my taxi squad. I don't even got to take him out of my taxi squad now, you know. But in a redraft league, if you drafted him and he's out for, hasn't played for 5 weeks, that's a big percentage of the season to hold on to someone. So. He should be available. He should have been dropped in your league by now. Go swoop him.
Yeah, and do it.
Thank you.
Do your due diligence. One thing people always forget is to go dumpster dive, see what everybody else threw away after the waiver wire cycle, because people start making decisions with bye weeks and cutting motherfuckers. My language, I have the kid now. But go ahead. You might even find like a Michael Carter or something like that sitting out there because somebody needs to make a move. You know what I mean? You just never know what you're going to find.
I love it. See, if I don't got a priority, like if I'm not looking for a guy in emergency, then I'm waiting for everybody to drop the players because somebody going to make a mistake. And that's how you win your league. Somebody, you dropped Dawson Knox? Okay, yeah, let me pick him up real quick. So another man's trash is another man's treasure.
Oh, yeah.
Man, Dawson Knox, he's I know some QBs are probably going to be up there, but Man, Dawson Knox, he's gonna be like the waiver wire ad of like the year.
I mean, I just hope he doesn't die on us, you know what I mean?
Man, he's not going to if you don't say shit like that.
Hold on, you just tried to kill who did you try to kill earlier? You were trying to kill CMC. You mentioned another one. You're trying to kill Nick Chubb.
Antonio Gibson?
No.
Antonio Gibson. I'm like, hold on.
I said with CMC, we need to just make sure to we're gonna lean on the side of caution, let him not play.
All I was saying was I hope he doesn't die on us. I hope none of our star players die on us. How about that?
We need them all to play all year.
We need them all to play. You know what I mean?
All right.
What's funny? We love IDPs and we love defenses, all that shit, right? But it's like, yo, we get so mad at them when they hurt our players, bro.
It's tough. It is tough. All right, we're up out of here. We're going to be back tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. TD, tell everybody where to find you at.
Guys, go to any social media platform. You can find me at Fantasy Good Sports. Yes, guys, Fantasy Good Sports. I said what I said. And also, guys, go to my OnlyFans where I'm providing you starts and sits, rankings, and it's all different contents, guys. I'm giving away shirts, hats, memorabilia. So come subscribe to my OnlyFans where you can get cutting-edge content. And, guys, go subscribe to these guys' channel. We put in a lot of work. We love football. We try to bless y'all. So you bless us by subscribing to our channel.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, man. And you can always catch us here every day, same time, same bat time, same bat channel. And check us out tonight live on we'll be simulcasting again for the Real Fantasy Playmakers What If series. Mine is what if the Raiders were better all along without John Gruden. You know what I mean? So tune in. Shout out to Joe Morley from the Warzone Sports Network. He'll be joining us. Also shout out to Steve A. Smith. He'll be making his return to the show as well. And man, it's gonna be lit. This is like my favorite show of the week every week.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to catch y'all on one of those shows one day, man. When I got some free time.
We got to bring you on. Just let me know one of these Wednesdays you're available.
Okay.
It's 9:30 your time. So
okay, and me and Hustler's trying to find out a time where it's convenient for everybody where we can do a stars and sits. I think our viewers want that. We all do stars and sits together. But I don't know a good time right now where we can do that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man. I mean, shit. Saturdays too, man. Saturdays might be one.
That's what I said. I said that too.
I always do one on Saturday, and if we mix it in, around that time, like that's perfect. Like we could just use that platform. A bunch of people are already coming. Mix in your guys' YouTube channels as well. The only thing that I'd make sure to preface to people is like you may have to wait a little bit to get your question answered because, and I know on my channel people already got used to that. People know they're going to get their answer. They just know they may have to wait 20 minutes, sometimes 30, 40 minutes. Just depends on how crazy.
Yeah. Hey man, it's that good man. The dude just you keep calling, dude. He's like, man, I'm 7 minutes away, bro. Like, he's finna pull up. It might take 45 minutes every time he says 3 minutes.
Oh yeah, where's this line from? If I'm not back in 5 minutes, and I like to say if I don't answer your question in 5 minutes, just wait longer.
Yeah, that's from Ace Ventura.
There we go. Boom. All right.
Yeah.
We're out of here, everybody. The Start and Sit Live, it's coming up in 1 hour. So 6:30 Eastern, 6:30 Eastern, 3:30 Pacific. We'll see you back there. Get those questions in. Peace out, everybody.